Right there.
Oh, that's gross.
You just make us slacker husbands look terrible.
I told him don't quit. You got to step it up, right, Janelle? He doesn't have to step it up.
And I'm going ahead and cueing their mics as we speak. Who do I mean by them, by they, by their? I'm talking about the wives. We have Wifey in studio and Mrs. Pastor, Mrs. Dinwiddie. What do you call her?
Baby cakes.
Baby cakes. I don't call her baby cakes. I call her
Thank
Mrs. Pastor.
We might have a problem. Yeah.
I get punched by Wayne on the podcast. All right, guys, we are coming to you from beautiful downtown Eldon, Missouri. Welcome to Standing in the Gap. A couple of quick points before we get started today. If you have any questions or comments, be sure and shoot those over to questions.standingpodcast@gmail.com. That's questions.standingpodcast. Oh, that's a mouthful, at gmail.com. Also, give us a like and a follow on Facebook. I believe Wifey is our new social media manager, has us set up on Instagram and stuff as well, correct?
On Instagram, we also have a website. It's SITGPodcast.weebly.com.
That's a mouthful.
I know.
Right?
Thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm. It's all set up. Awesome. There's a place you can go. You can watch the newest episodes. It's got a place that kind of all about, the two of you and what the podcast is about. There's also a section for comments, questions, reach out to us. And then there's also a reference page for any kind of references.
It says Weebly?
Yeah.
On Weebly? Okay. So, and I made the announcement last week that Wifey is now our social media manager, of course, unpaid. It's an unpaid position because we don't have a budget here at Standing in the Gap, which I'll talk about that at the end of the show.
How you with you is payment enough.
Man, your mic is hot, dude. Like hot. Like, wow.
You're in control of the buttons over there.
Right.
I feel like it's not as much of a payment as much of a punishment.
So Wifey being our new social media manager. So just look at, she is spreading this out all over the place.
She's doing
some good work. So hopefully that'll help to generate traffic and get the message out there as well. Again, we have the wives in studio, Wifey and Mrs. Dinwiddie. And Pastor Wayne, any thoughts before we get started here today, man? Besides just sitting over there shaking your head.
I got a Bible verse.
Yes, give us a Bible verse today.
Proverbs 18:22 says, "Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of the Lord." So that'd be a good verse.
That's apropos. And did you notice the intro music specifically, before I forget? Guys, and you can hear the whole song at the end of the podcast, because during the intro I kind of talk over it and whatnot. But you can hear the whole song at the end of the podcast, and it directly references Wifey and
baby cakes.
There. That's
He's like, I'm not saying it.
I'm not saying it. That's why I was like, I'm not saying it. We went swimming one time, and I called Wifey baby cakes. And Wayne thought I was talking about his baby cakes, and he gave me this look like, "What are you doing, dude?" I'm like, "No, I'm talking to my baby cakes." That
people occasionally, and it's not usually a very nice thing that he's trying to say.
No, I'm usually being very. When I call her baby cakes, it's usually very condescending.
Yes,
okay,
very.
Baby cakes.
Yeah.
Like, so at any rate, we really don't have a topic on the table today beyond just having the wives in. We're going to talk about the podcast. I'd like to talk to Janelle a little bit about the social media management, things that she's doing on her end. Of course, Lauren's always a blast to talk to, so I'm sure she will fill us up on all kinds of stories and goodness here. I think as an overall theme, probably, I think initially we had talked about biblical marriage. But we're going to probably jump the rails on that track really fast. So at any rate, Brother Wayne, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to get a couple of things squared away here, and then we'll run with it and see where it goes.
Okay. Well, my idea was to try and find out some things about you and Janelle. And so, things that I already know because I've heard them, but so just your testimony, so we'll get to that. But I had no idea what a blessing these two would be to our ministry here. Tyson, the little liar, comes to this church for like a year before we know he's a professional guitar player.
Oh, whatever. Like,
It's true.
I mean, he can do anything up there. We've all got our music up there, and we're trying to look at the chords, and he just picks up a guitar and just starts playing with us. Doesn't need no music or anything. I'm thinking, you sorry sucker. Been coming here this long, and you got all this talent.
yeah.
And then we got Janelle that's donated Amazon stuff
Oh my
like
goodness.
crazy to
We call her affectionately here at Faith Baptist the Amazon lady.
We do. Yes.
yeah. So, and I don't know how much money that's generated for youth or the church or whatever,
Couple thousand.
but that's I had no idea what was going to transpire when they showed up one night at a revival we were having.
Yep, it was revival week.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The last day, it was a Sunday, the last day of that revival week.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know being on, and not to interrupt, but being on the mic, like I told you not to eat it, and you can feel free to sit back, but when you do talk, lean up just a little bit.
Okay, I felt like I was kind of loud.
No,
Kind of
because
loud anyway.
when you were, she's Italian. She's very
It's
loud.
louder here than it is on the.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
right. It is, yeah. So it's not a big deal. It's just once you back off to a certain point, it starts to get kind of echoey and roomy. So but you don't have to eat it.
I don't have to do this.
No, don't do that. At any rate, back to you, Brother Wayne.
So yeah, but I'll talk about my wife too. But I with that verse, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and hath found favor with the Lord. What do you think, Tyson? Do you believe that you found favor with the Lord?
Oh, man, at the risk of hearing Wifey later be like, oh, that was so sweet. In all seriousness, I'm just going to put it out there. Wifey is wife number 3. I've been married a couple of times before. And they were very unpleasant, extremely unpleasant marriages. I think the first one, we were just married too young. We were both stupid. Second one, I don't even talk about that. Very unpleasant marriages. And I had given up on marriage after that. After my second divorce, I was like, I'm done. Never getting married again. It's not going to happen. Not doing it. I'm going to be a bachelor. And next thing you know, I wake up 15 years later and I'm married. But no, it's been a blessing. It is. When you get and she wasn't when we first got together. She wasn't a believer. But she was open to the possibilities. But having and I know that you can contest to, or like, what's the word I'm looking for?
A test.
A test.
A test. You can attest.
Okay.
Wow. Like it's you can attest to the fact that having a believing wife is everything. And neither one of my first 2 wives were believers. So that changes the game. And so it really has been a blessing. And there you go, blah, blah, blah.
It's unevenly.
Yeah, I've got a similar story, but I won't get into all that. But how did you guys had, when you came here, you talked about being homeless
Mm-hmm.
and God bringing you down to your knees, and that you, of course, you've said it more than once, but even today you said you wouldn't change that
Mm-hmm.
for the world.
No.
What caused you to choose the Lord when you wasn't a believer, and what was the defining moment that said, okay, we gotta change our lives? I mean, even you talked about having a podcast before that was not godly.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
And so what was the defining moment where you said, I gotta start serving the Lord?
So this is long before I met Tyson. I was married once before him. Again, married young and just stupid. And I met Tyson. We met online, actually. And
I know Wayne. I know.
I was agnostic, and I worked for, even when we first started dating, I worked for a company that took care of people that had disabilities, mental disabilities, that kind of thing. I would take them out into the community and take them to do stuff. And I had one lady I had to take to church, and I would sit in that church and I would read a book, and not a Christian book. But I would sit and I would read a book, and I just didn't. I had to believe that there was something more, but I didn't like the way the Christian people in the area or where I was going or whatever, the way they were. I didn't feel like they were genuine, and so it just really pulled me away from there. And I think what really it was after we got to a point. We never had issues with like drugs or anything like that. It was just poor financial planning. Terrible with money, and both of us are terrible with money, so that just makes for a really bad like situation. And then you end up where you have nothing. And we had to go live with his mom in Kansas, and we slept on a couch, the pull-out couch. His mom had one bedroom, and we were that way for a while. It was hard to find jobs or anything. But there was one point we were just, I don't even remember exactly how we came off or got onto the conversation. But I was like, so how do you become, I don't even remember what I said.
Not to interrupt, but I was really, Wayne, I was really heavily kind of getting into Pastor Hoggard at that point.
Yes.
So I was watching a lot of Pastor Hoggard videos. And she noticed that because we're living in very confined spaces. So when I'm on my computer, she's right next. She knows and she sees that. So,
and then I was like, so how are you a Christian? I just was like, how? Like, I don't understand. He's like, so you just believe. It's like, that's it. It's that easy. He's like, yeah. And it wasn't all just, I believe, and so I'm a believer. No. I think the defining moment for me, there was that. It was what's that easy? But then it was me and his mom came to a head, and we just couldn't get along anymore. And we were at a point where it was like, fine, we're leaving.
Now, having said that, not to interrupt, but having said that, her and my mom get along great now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But it's really, and I'm not being chauvinistic at all. I'm not. But I think both women here today will back me up on this. You can have, it's hard enough for guys, but if you put two women in the same household together for any length of time at all, it's going to come to a head.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And it did, as expected. And we left, and we didn't have jobs. We didn't have a car. No, we did have a car.
We had a car.
But it didn't work really well. It had issues. It wouldn't drive very far. And so we had a tent, and we had a dog, and we moved into a park in Kansas. And that is where we stayed for 40 days. And in that time, I counted it.
Wow.
And in that time, Tyson, we had internet because the park had internet, and they had electricity at the park. You just plug into their little pagoda or whatever. And he was on his computer a lot, and we would sit in the morning and we would watch Pastor Hoggard, and we were praying with each other. And that made a huge difference in how I looked at things. I think in how he looked at things. It strengthened our relationship.
Well, heck yeah, I figured if she's going to stick around, well, I'm living in the park. I mean, come on. She's a keeper, man. Like, because I even tried to, not to, bust your flow there, but I even told her when we first went to the park, I said, you go to Joplin, move in with your mom. We're not breaking up. Go stay with your mom where you're safe and warm until I can get my act together. And she's like, no. You live in the park. I live in the park.
Well, we were married at that point.
Yeah.
We had his uncle married us. His uncle is actually the one who baptized me before we got married, because I became a believer before we actually ended up in the park. But ending up in the park was the major, it really brought us closer to God. And Tyson, there was one day Tyson's like, was like, were we just going to be here forever? It felt like we were never getting out of this place. And Tyson's like, well, God's not going to just take us from here to there. He's going to take us in baby steps because he knows us better than that. And he knows he can't just do this and then it'll be fine. No. And he did. We ended up moving in with his son's girlfriend's parents. And we stayed there for a while. And then my mom said, oh, yeah, you can come stay with me. And then we got jobs and so on. But he's moved us a little bit at a time. So we're in Joplin, and we lost our apartment in Joplin. And his best friend was like, well, we've got a place here at the lake for you. Okay, so we go stay with them. Then we get our house. And then he's reaching out to churches. Or no, he was reaching out to Pastor Hoggard because he wanted a KJV church. And that's how we ended up here. And I wouldn't change any bit of that because God literally walked us through it. He said, okay, we're going to go here. And then we're going to, exactly like he said in the park that day, we're going to go here and we're going to go here and we're going to go here. And we're going to maybe backtrack because you're dumb, but we'll move forward.
I didn't say you were dumb.
Saying,
I said,
handle this. I'll give you this.
Right.
Let's see how you do with this.
Exactly.
Right.
And we'll move on.
It's
Exactly.
little bites. It's little steps that got us to where we are. And yeah, I had hit up because we went to my uncle's church a couple of times when we were able, and there was a King James only church in Joplin. The pastor I really liked him.
Really nice.
But it was just, it just felt kind of dead inside. There just wasn't.
There wasn't a lot of young people like our age.
Yeah,
it was mostly an older
They were
crowd.
nice.
And they were super sweet, but you can tell it wasn't flourishing.
It
Where's
wasn't
the future of the
Right.
church? Yeah.
Right. And so I hit up Pastor Mike after we moved back to the lake, which I was born and raised down here. And that's a whole other story. But I got old Pastor Mike. I said, because I had heard him talk about Lebanon and Eldon. And I thought, well, he's been all around the lake, so he knows guys down here at the lake. Maybe he knows where a good church is. And I hit him up and I said, where's a good King James Bible believing church? This is where I live. I live at Lake of the Ozarks. And he goes, he told me, he said, it may have been his daughter, because he said he thought maybe Lindsay had replied and told me. At any rate, you need to go see Pastor Wayne Dinwiddie in Eldon. And that's when the rest is history. So, yeah.
And really, though, there are days that I wish we did better about praying together. We've kind of gotten away from that, where we were forced in that situation to really just think about where we were at and why we were there. And we were spending a lot of time in the Bible. And I spend a lot more time in my Bible now than I have in the past. But I really, that's one thing that I really feel like we need to work on doing better. But I know that even moving here, we were in Sunrise Beach for a while. We were driving 45 minutes here. And I was like, man, I want to move closer. How long did it take? Like a year?
Yeah.
A year and a half?
We've got our ringers turned off, by the way, but we just had an amber alert come through, and those will bypass whether or not you have your ringer turned off. So
I know. But and then it happened that Wayne's cousin had a trailer that Wayne used to own come open for us to rent, and really it's worked out so well. And man, we are at a place. We were sitting in the house one day when it was cold and when we got all the snow, and I was like, Tyson, we look at where he's brought us. This little trailer mobile home, manufactured home, is the nicest place I think I've ever lived. So he really has done a lot for us, and he really has brought us a long way, and I thank him for that every day. And I think this church feels like family. Like from the first day we came in, your mama was so sweet. She come up and she gave us a hug, and we just felt like so like we belonged.
Like we belonged.
Like right away.
I think I went that first week to Wayne, and I was like, this is our church home. Where do we sign up? And Wayne's like, well, slow down. Slow down. You don't know us yet. He's like, you don't know us yet. He said, we're not exactly right in the head. So
we're like, perfect.
So anyway, but in all seriousness, we were a couple of months in, maybe a month or two in, and Wayne said, hey, he called me and said, you want to go fishing? was like, okay, sure, we'll go fishing. Not knowing at the time that's kind of Wayne's screening process. So if you're a guy and you come to Faith Baptist Church, if Wayne takes you fishing, that's kind of the screening process. And it was shortly thereafter that we submitted for membership, and we've been here 3.5 years.
Well, and Lauren she was, so sweet and so friendly, like right out of the bat. And sometimes with churches, you get from the pastor and the pastor's wife even very kind of like set apart from the rest of the congregation.
Yeah.
And it's not like that here, and I really appreciate that. Like I told Tyson, I was like, Lauren doesn't know it, but she's my best friend, and she's just stuck with it. Because I don't really have friends outside of church. I just don't. I'm just not. And I think it helps to have people that have a like-minded look on the world, so.
Can I just say, from the first Sunday you guys were here, I felt a kindred spirit.
Right.
I was like,
Yeah.
I really like this.
Yeah.
I remember telling Wayne that. I was like, I really like this. I really like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's our story. And we're sticking to it.
that is our
really good, though. Wayne and I looked at each other 40 days. We're
I
like,
will say, Lauren, and I know we were talking about this before we went live. You don't sound the same to yourself because you're echoing in your own head.
Mhm.
And you were. And I'm just going to put it out there. I hope I'm not embarrassing you, but it was a situation where, man, I just decided to go ahead and do this. I hate the sound of my voice. I just am afraid. You sound awesome on the mic.
Yeah,
by the way.
you do.
You sound
good.
really, really good on the mic. So just putting that out there.
where that came from. And I was telling them about how you talk about high self-esteem and low self-esteem. Like the world will tell you, you got low self-esteem. You need to, and you're like, no, it's actually high because you're thinking highly. You're thinking about yourself
Mhm.
and how you feel too much. And so I said that to them. I said, I feel like, no, you need to do it because, that you shouldn't let that stop you. Oh, I can hear myself,
Well, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I
you're
know
fine.
before we went live, you're
Like that.
Oh yeah. And in the 40 days I did, like, I counted it. I was like, he had us out there for 40 days. Like, yeah, he really did.
That's really in the forest. Like that's really in the
Essentially,
wilderness. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think I got our video
Our
feed
Our
fixed.
video.
So I'll probably have to end up editing that little break out, but we're good. So let's continue.
All right.
Okay. Well, I got kind of a similar story that Tyson does, but when I came to myself, I said, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to serve the Lord and be content. Took a while to get content, but my desire was to be content. And so I was 7 years single, not even so much as a girlfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so when I met Lauren, and she was beautiful, still is, but I said, there's no way, because I was older than her. And she came here for a friend day with Brandon, her brother, which is married to my niece.
It's a whole thing, guys.
It's a
Yeah,
whole
I get it.
You're the manager. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
It's, but my mama, we were sitting at home one day and my mama said, did you see Brandon's sister? And I looked at her and I said, yeah. Isn't she pretty? And I said, yeah. And I said, she's way too young. So she said, you don't think she could be the one? And when she said that, I thought, if I got my mom on my side, this might be something worth pursuing.
It all starts.
And the next thing I did is went and talked to our pastor, my pastor at the time, not Lauren. My pastor was 10 years younger than me, Brandon Jorgensen. And I guess I was kind of his assistant. But I asked him about it, and it was almost like he had already been thinking about it. He said, I think it'd be a good deal. So then you got your mama and you got your pastor.
Now Jenny.
Mm-hmm.
Now the pastor's wife, that was a whole nother story. Brandon Jorgensen, my pastor at the time, went and talked to his wife about it. And she told him, well, it sounds to me like she's getting a raw deal.
And if you know Brandon and Jenny, she's the voice.
I had been married before.
Now, not to interrupt, but how much older are you than Lauren?
14 and a half years.
14 and a half.
14 and a half. Okay, because there's
13 and a half.
Okay.
Yep, 14.
See, there's like a 12-year difference between Wifey and I.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
But we don't even think about it now.
No,
I mean, in the
it's
beginning,
not.
you were wondering, no.
No. Yeah.
But Wayne has a whole idea behind that. You keep me young. And then I always say, I was an old soul anyway. My mom would tell you that. Like, nobody my age wanted to get married. Or I didn't want to marry him. That's the thing. I'm like, you need to grow up. So it worked out. I'm sorry, Wayne.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
That's fine.
So Wifey and I have said numerous times, the reason, and we joke, but the reason we're together is nobody else could put up with either one of us. Like, we're the only two
Very
people
true.
that can put up with each other for any extended
Yes,
period
If you
of time.
guys were camping in the woods for 40
Yeah.
days, then that's a test
We're
now.
that exactly, and that's why I was telling Wayne I wouldn't change that for anything. But back to you, brother.
Mhm.
Yeah.
After he interrupted you so rudely.
I do that the whole podcast. I'll be like, not to interrupt, but, and then I go ahead and interrupt.
it's okay.
It's kind of my shtick.
You're so
Shtick.
Yeah. So, I mean, the rest is kind of history after that point. You know,
Mhm.
I tried to, I didn't have to pursue her much, you know, because it was like, for lack of a better way to put it, it was like it was ordained. And things just fell into place. Everything that happened to me at that time put me closer to her. I was working
Yeah.
I got a job in Bourbon, Missouri,
Which is right down the road.
which is
from
you got to drive right through where Lauren was living at the time. And I got a motel there in her town that was cheaper than anywhere else that I could stay. And so we got to go out to eat together
Get to
in the-
know each other.
in the evenings
Mm-hmm.
and such. And so it just seems like it was a path was laid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any other way to explain it than that.
Yeah, because right after we got married, or well, maybe right before, that job was done,
Yeah,
wrapped up.
the job was over with, and I never went back over that direction ever after that in my jobs. But it worked out perfect. We got married within 3 months.
Yeah, so we never say, we tell everybody, no judgment. When they say, it's really fast, and we're like, we have nothing to say there.
When you
Not
know,
gonna
you
judge.
know.
Yeah, but how long have you been together now?
13 and a half
Mm-hmm.
years?
Yeah,
That's probably
so-
what we were thinking.
13 and a half years.
Yep.
Yeah.
You were making all sorts of noise over there moving that.
I
microphone.
know. Sorry.
Oh, here's another. We'll just call this the Amber Alert episode. I'm not making light of the Amber Alert. I mean, hopefully, whatever
But
child
wow.
is missing. But
Where is
wow,
it coming from?
Yeah.
It's. I think at this point, it's Wayne's. I don't know. It's something over there.
That's not
His didn't
mine.
line up. Mine didn't either.
But, you know, that would be a good ring on your phone when your wife calls.
It's the Amber Alert.
It's the general alert. He's going to name it that. I thought Wayne was going to say that would be a good alert for when you, an alarm.
right.
Because I can sleep like a log through one.
But I tell you, when we had our wedding and everything, everybody that was there said it was one of the sweetest weddings that they've been to. And it was, my mama was so happy for me. She knew what I wanted. I always just wanted a family. Just wanted a family to take care of and do what we're supposed to do as men. And God finally gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain it. I know I don't deserve it, but he sure gave it to me. And the persistence, and I think the desire to want to serve him is what he wanted to serve me in a sense. Which is how it's, when I marriage counsel somebody, I said, if you put your all into serving the other one, and the other one put your all into serving that one, you can't help but be happy.
Because you're both happy.
Yeah, and usually end up both doing what you want to do because your thoughts and your desires all change and they match more closely. And for a while, it's a sacrifice, but it eventually turns into, this is just...
You pull them your way a little, they pull you
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. You balance out in the middle and you're one,
Mm-hmm.
Well, and on that's a really good point, because, and not even just that, like the roles that we play in our relationships. So for a while there, Tyson was the one doing all the housework, doing all of the stuff that has to be done, cleaning, vacuuming, all of
Because
that.
I have OCD.
Yeah.
Wayne will attest. Yeah.
And I was the one having to deal with all the bills. I was doing all of taking the car to the shop, doing all of those things. And we were both miserable. We were fighting all the time. And it was so stressful. We were both so stressed out. And we finally had enough, and we sat down and I was like, okay, Tyson's taking over the bills. Tyson's going to do all of the guy stuff, and I'm going to take over the house stuff and do all the wife stuff. And so we sat down, we talked about it. It took a little bit of time, but once we got set into those roles, it made we're both we don't fight
difference.
Like we did. We don't. He's not angry at me all the time because it took him 5 hours to clean the house. But it does make a real difference, and not just, maybe not even the roles that you play, but I think it does. I think that men have a specific role in the family, and women have a specific role in the family.
Despite what the world says.
Right.
Right. And I think it's fulfilling those roles, dare I say biblical roles. When I decided to fill my biblical role as husband and all that entails, and we mutually, I decided, and she decided to biblically fulfill her role as wife in the marriage. Man, it changed everything. It really did.
Well, and he's less stressed about bills and whatnot. I mean, he still gets stressed, but he doesn't get stressed to the point I do. And then I don't stress about the housework. It takes me an hour.
No, when it comes to money, you just juggle it. You send the electric check to the water company, water check to the electric company. Bing, bing, boom.
No, that's not what you do.
I was just going to say it takes an hour because when you have Amazon gadgets,
Oh, yeah.
probably makes it
Yeah,
quick.
you get a lot of stuff that does that.
Got a robot vacuum?
How long does it take to clean the house with 3 kids, honey?
Oh, no.
wow, I
No,
can't
we don't
even-
have children.
No.
So that's one thing. So we both have children.
we have
grown.
kids. They're just all grown
We
up.
have children from previous marriages, both of us. We don't have children together.
I've learned a lot. We'll just say that.
Man.
It's hard. I can get it done in a day, like if I got company coming, but I've learned a lesson. So instead of saving it all for that last day, because you think, well, it's just going to get messed up anyway. No, work your way up to that. Like, I have to give them incentives too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bub's really good about helping me, our little boy. And so he's funny about it too. Mom, look at the living room floor's clean. And I'll go, well, that side is, but I know, but look. And I'm like, yeah, but this side's you just shoved all the mess over here.
Yeah, but
I
this
know,
side's
Mom.
clean.
And he will do this showcase thing like Vanna White, like, and so yeah, he's so funny. But I've realized, like, working up to that last day, it makes it way easier.
Mm-hmm.
But then Wayne helped me out on Christmas because he did my dishes that morning, which usually takes me, but I'm learning that too. I'm learning how to make that go faster, not take so long. And so, yeah, it is. I mean, you can't do much. You can't do anything for very long, and you got a kid going, Mom, and you're going,
Yeah, I remember those days.
complete something for like. I tell the kids, I'm gonna go out to the car, sit inside, lock the doors, and just have silence for a little bit. And then it's like Chelsea says, when your kid's sleeping, you look at them and go, oh, look at them. Oh, and then they wake up.
And you're like, dang it.
And you don't see that anymore.
Well,
So-
even when if we have grandkids for a day or two
Oh.
and they go home, we're like, we instantly think of you and other mothers like yourself in the church. How do they do it? Like, how do
you
they?
got to do it when
how
you're
do they
younger.
do
Like,
it?
but we did this when we were younger.
Yeah,
Our kids. I had my girls early, and he
Mhm.
had his boys in his 30s. So
Well, no 20s.
20s,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
You have
so
more energy than
you just do, and especially when you have more than one, it's hard. Like, people don't realize Tyson was an only child. You can believe it.
Believe it.
Oh yeah.
And so having more than one child, it's a lot of work. You don't realize.
Mhm.
And
I said 3 was good for me. They're always like, can we have it? Nope. I'm like, but I always felt like I wanted one more than what I just had me and Brandon growing up.
right.
I was like, I really want one more sibling. My mom would say, well, you're not getting another. I don't know what to tell you. And so all my friends' moms were having their like third kid, you know, that was a little younger than the others. And so kind of like Wayne's family, you know, Pam's what, 6 years younger? And you and Stacy are closer, yeah. And so I was like, I'm not going to like, I thought, you know what? God will decide. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And then it happened. We had Allie. So, and I like that 3, you know, because I don't know. It's one more than what I had growing up. And I always wish we had, we both kind of did want to have at least one more sibling. So,
Well, and you've got the 2 girls and a boy.
yes. And that was perfect. I always say it's good that we had, sorry, there's echo. I'm sitting back too far. But I always say it's best that we had a girl because Ava's always, oh, I want another sibling. And she would want a girl to play with. But if we had had another boy, Bub's that's my dad. We're buds. He would have just given another boy a look like, you're in my domain, pal.
They'd been punching each other.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it would have been good. And he likes being protector of his little sister. He tries to be about Ava's son, but then he's also like, well, I'm just going over here. And him and Allie play a lot together. But him and Ava have good moments too, obviously. But she's bossy. She's the oldest sister. It's a thing.
Well, see, I had the 3 girls, and he had all boys. 6 boys. I mean, and when the girls were little, Trinity was probably about 7 or 8 when the first year we were together. And I would be like, Trinity, go take the trash out. And she'd huff and puff about it. Come to find out years later, he did it for her. Like,
Well,
he
okay.
had a little girl
In
wrapped
my
around
defense,
your finger.
one, she didn't huff and puff. She was crying.
Aww.
Exactly. And secondly, this 8-year-old, a beautiful 8-year-old girl crying, and then I'm going to help.
You're like, hold on.
This is why we didn't have children together, and why he didn't have girls.
I couldn't do it. It was easy with the boys. I mean, I use easy loosely, but boys are way easier. I could if I had daughters, they just get whatever they want all the time. Yes,
True.
yes, you can have it.
The grandkids, that's the way it is. The girls, man, the grandgirls,
Yeah.
they get whatever. One of them wanted a unicorn. Samantha wanted a unicorn for Christmas one year, and we went to Walmart and we got her a unicorn. It was one of those big ones that you can sit on and it drives around the house.
She wanted a unicorn. Okay, and in all your Italian exuberance, wifey,
I'm sorry.
you got.
I'm sorry. I know.
You can't slap the table in all your Italian exuberance.
I'm sorry.
Like,
I talk with my hands and I hit things.
I'm always teasing. I've talked about it on the.
I think I've done this a few times, so I probably
sure
make
this
noises.
On the podcast as well. I've talked about my Italian wife, so Wayne's all caught up. You know.
Okay, I feel like we've gotten off topic. Sorry.
Oh, maybe just a little bit. Who could have foreseen that?
That's funny.
Oh boy.
I didn't really have. You say we kind of gotten off topic. We
were just kind of.
We just when we decided to finally do this and we turned everything on, we're like, we'll just see where it goes.
Yeah.
But thankfully, Wayne has a little bit of an outline idea, a little bit of a structure to it.
He actually plans ahead of time.
Well, no, that's no fun.
So let's just say what I had to say. This was I was going to tease you guys and say, let's just say while we're really here, we're going to have a counseling session and tease you guys.
Okay, Tyson, Janelle, this is not about the podcast.
This is an inside joke. We'll be right back.
I knew you'd never come in here if you knew it was marriage counseling.
Yeah.
Right.
Wayne had to tease them because at our Valentine banquet, you guys, it was hilarious. Janelle, you should have known. I'm sorry. Hey, by the way, guys, if you need some counseling, I mean, everybody died laughing.
It's a lot of fun.
It
It's
is.
a lot of fun.
I don't think, and not to interrupt, but I don't
excited.
think, you were talking about how when we finally stepped into our biblical roles, prior to that, we were arguing. I don't think we've even had an argument in the last couple of years.
No.
I can't recall. I think we give each other so much nonsense just in general that it vents that.
Uh-huh.
So it's like if you've got a pressure tank and we do it's in, but it's still venting that. You're still venting that. We give each other so much nonsense. So I think there's nothing left for an actual argument.
You're just doing it in a lighthearted way.
Right.
Rather than,
Right.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, and two, we have a pretty regular routine, and we both have our outlets. I have stuff that I can do with the church, with the girls at the church, and he goes and he does the podcast, which really helps him, I think, a lot. He really enjoys doing it. It gives him something to focus on throughout the week. And so I think that's important too. Having other things outside of each other to focus on helps sometimes too.
Yeah.
I
Wayne
think
talks about that.
too much. You don't want to be like,
if we were going to get those
Oh,
when
yeah.
we're in here.
you don't want to be focused on each other 24/7. It's just not healthy.
unless
And
you're
you might
focusing
hurt
on
people.
Oh, man.
unless you're focusing
Thank
on
you.
Anyway, it's good to have those outlets for each other, like each of us. And I'm really having women to be able to go out and hang out with. It's really important, I think, and I'm really glad we have that. And same with Tyson. I know that getting together with Wayne and with RJ and even John when he was coming out and doing the Kung Fu, yeah.
Mhm.
I know it was really good for him. We didn't have that before. It was just us. And I think that put a little bit of a strain on things too.
Mhm.
We needed that just outlet to be able to be around people with like-minded people and not just focused on each other.
That's the key, too.
Mhm.
Is when you make friends.
Yep.
I've learned that my best friends right now, I have more friends now than I ever had, and they're my church family,
Right.
my church ladies, and so I'm like, that's the best kind of friends to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're putting good things into each other, and
Mhm.
good things are coming out, and you're just, that atmosphere, being around that is better for your spirit.
Well, and you have other people to vent. And you have other people to vent to,
Oh,
other than
man.
your spouse.
Yeah.
There are some things that I'm
Yeah.
not going to vent about to Tyson.
Right.
Right. And it's not
That's why I split up the prayer meetings.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's a good idea.
And
But
you know
it's
what? That's
true.
been better, I
It's not that it's not that you're, I got to keep this from Tyson, or I got to go gripe to the women about Tyson. It's not like that at all. It's you. What am I trying to say?
You're able to get things out that you wouldn't feel right about saying in front of
Right.
both.
You want to talk to
groups.
somebody that feels the same way you do or has had that feeling.
Or
Right.
can identify with that. Yeah, relate. There you
with
go.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's
And there's a
good.
lot of times that I will talk about things and Tyson will be like, He's not really
I don't know
actually
what you're
listening.
Like, that's a wild and baseless accusation.
So I can talk to the
I'm
ladies
come
and
and
they're
do the
like, "Oh,
podcast
yeah."
today and have my character assassinated.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what you
That's a guy
expected.
thing, though.
That's
Wayne-
true.
Wayne
Yeah.
can tell you,
Yeah.
he's done that. And it's funny because I'll be telling him something funny. Isn't that funny? No, you're not even. You haven't.
Yeah.
Did you hear any of that? I don't think you heard any.
Every day.
It's okay. But he will be, I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry.
Oh, at least he's nice and is like, I'm sorry. You'll be like, no, I wasn't listening.
I always say the key to
You made me sound like a jerk. Like what?
I do the same thing, so I can't really say much.
we will both do that. Like, yeah. But that's why you have grace with people, because you know you do it too,
Yeah.
you know. So
he'll tell me something and he'll be like, "You didn't even hear any of that." I said, "Nope, I wasn't paying any attention to you at all because I just asked the question."
It's like
again
when
what
Charlie
you were talking
Brown,
about.
when the adults talk, and all I hear is wah, 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 wah.
It's really
Brown's
true.
teacher.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Wah, 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 wah,
Wah,
wah.
wah, 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 wah.
Sometimes I feel like I live in that.
Yeah, so to add to the blessing that these guys has been to us a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. No, several years ago, I thought of I wanted to do some kind of a blog. It was back before podcast or even YouTube, really. And
Pastor Mike was sort of.
I had a name already for it, Standing in the Gap.
Because you had that name for a while.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I never really did anything with it. Really didn't know how, truthfully. But then you were going to do it. You was going to do it by yourself or something. I don't know. Well, however you was going to do it. And I just happened to say, oh,
Yeah, he had talked about it.
So wives
boys.
are good at this. Okay, we'll like go and say, "Hey, my husband was thinking this," and the guys are like,
Yep.
"I don't need to talk about
We're in
that."
the background
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah, well, we were, and Janelle said, "Yeah, he would like to do some kind of a podcast or something." I go, "Are you serious?"
So would Wayne.
Right. So does Wayne, and it was perfect because
Well,
you're the Bible guy, and not the Tyson's not. He's the tech guy that Wayne's like, "I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea."
Well, no,
You guys
but
work
it's
great
true
together.
because I can let Wayne worry about the research, about he's got all that covered, and that frees me up to be able to focus more on the production side of things. Because when I had considered doing it on my own, I thought, man, it just was overwhelming, the thought of it.
Mhm.
Like show prep, getting everything together, the notes and all the research, and then doing all the production. But having Wayne he handles that side of things. I handle this side of things.
Literally.
It's just- yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Here,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Another thing that I was going to say earlier about the relationship between husbands and wives, that's supposed to show us how it works between us and God. If we focus on Him, and I know you, when I said you focus on each other, I didn't mean 24 hours a day.
Right.
But when you focus on Him and what pleases Him, you try to get some things out of your life. You try to put some things in. Then He wants to do the same for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not wrong to talk about how your life can get better when you serve God. It can get worse too, depending on where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's when
intentions.
the devil can really hit. But if you're walking the walk, there's a hedge of protection.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones that breaks down those protection walls when we get out of whack and try to do things on our own and start wanting to please ourselves. That's why the Bible says if your relationship is strained with your wife, don't try to pray to me. He says, because I won't hear you. If your relationship's not good down there, then it's not good here. And so all those things that we go through in a marriage helps us realize what pleases God. And then we can have a real victorious Christian life.
Mm-hmm.
Bad things still happen. Me and my wife lost a son, but we knew who the boss was. It didn't destroy us.
Tyson,
We knew
same thing.
God was sovereign, and it hurt like crazy, but it really drew us closer to God.
Yeah, we've had some things happen that I feel like we got stronger after that.
Yeah.
Didn't break us. Like, people will either go one direction or the other.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, I mean, already we were in a good spot. I don't think we would, but it really helped us grow together even more. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
So I think when we lost Kale, it was a little different because he wasn't my child. He was Tyson, but I knew him about as well as Tyson did because his
There were
mom-
times like Janelle would talk to him more than I did.
Yeah.
You know, she's like,
Mhm.
Kale hit me up today, and you know, so.
and that's your spouse, and if you're one flesh, you know, you feel
Right,
that pain too.
right,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that was one of those hard things. It's a really hard thing to go through to lose anybody, but especially because we had just gotten back into his life and we had just started to get to know him again.
They always say that. I remember my grandma. I use a lot of grandma wisdom. My grandma's very wise. And most of the wisdom she's given me, and
I
I
love
try
how
to
you-
implement.
How you
I quote
imitate
her
her.
every I try to quote her every day. Grandma Jane would say,
Lowen.
because everything she gave me and that I've put into practice has paid off.
Yeah.
And I knew she was talking about. Like, same with, she told me, Lauren. It's grandma. No, it's cute. But she would say, find a Christian person to marry. It makes life so much easier because my
Mhm.
grandpa wasn't a believer. And life was rough. Grandma did what she was supposed to do. She didn't just take the kids and leave them. She just lived her life the way she knew she was supposed to in front of him. Took them to church every Sunday. And then over the years, it took till the end of his life. But she said Dad and her would sit at the table. And the reason anything good that I learned, I mean, Grandma teaching my dad that, and my dad having that soft spirit. Ava tells me all the time, I'm really glad that you have so many good qualities that Grandpa Bob does.
Aw.
Like, thanks for, being that way. And I'm like, yeah, I learned a lot. I mean, I've learned a lot from both my parents, but I've learned so much from Grandma. And she's always very humble, like, oh, it's not me. And I'm like, Grandma, everybody's doing so good in where we're at in church and everything. Your example. We were closer with Grandma and Grandpa than all the other grandkids because we lived in the same town as them. And so, yeah, I mean, Grandma was the one that woke me up in like one of the roughest times in my life. I wasn't living right. That was when I tell Wayne when I got myself back on track, because I think I got saved as early teens, but I don't really know the date or anything. I know where it was at and all that, and I remember the moment, but for a while it's like I believed and I hated what I was doing, but I kind of went my own way, sowed my wild oats or whatever. And so, but I always desired to find a church and find people to hang with that were good, and none of it was fulfilling,
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so, anyway, Grandma, finally, I had a health scare, and she got on the phone and said, this is not the Lauren that I know. And hearing my grandma say that just,
Mm-hmm.
I hated disappointing her and my dad. I hated that. I hated whatever. Because I don't think I did it much, but when I did, I felt terrible about it. And then having Grandma say that, she was so sweet and kind, but the words were so heavy. I'm like, okay, Grandma, I'm going to turn it around. I'm getting on the right track. Okay. I'll be praying for you, And so everything good. A lot of good came after that, got back into church, the one that I loved. And I visited this one, during that time when I was trying to find a good place to be. And Brandon and Tori said, I know you're going to a church, but you really should come to church with us. And then when I came here, I'm like, I really like that church, They just want to preach the Bible. Like, they're not everybody's got a Bible with them. It's not a big rock it just wasn't a big production thing. It was more about what it's supposed to be about, learning what does God want us to do.
I feel like you can feel the Spirit of God here. I really do.
And then just this,
in everybody here.
And some would say, well, that's probably just because I was Brandon's sister. But it was hilarious when I came here that first Sunday, because it's funny. Wayne and I we'll tell each other all the time what was happening on his side when we met and what was happening on my side. And I will tell him when I started, I just took a chance and messaged him one day, and I'm in there on my phone, and Brandon walks by my room and does a double take, and he stops and goes, who are you, Ty? I go, I think I'm talking. Wouldn't that be so cool if we were all together? Oh man, He was so excited. He was thrilled to death. He was so excited.
Because not to interrupt, but your brother's wife, Tori, is
Wayne's niece.
your niece.
Yeah.
His sister's
It's
daughter.
the way we do things here in
Yeah.
Elton.
Yeah.
In fact,
Not too far from Brumley.
Yeah, but at least here the family trees have branches.
Brandon
Oh.
calls us a bonsai tree. He drew it out on a marker board one morning.
That's funny.
Okay, here we are. He said, I think it's going to be okay. And I'm like, okay, good. Glad I have your approval. Well, Mom's laughing her head off. He goes, actually, look, it kind of makes a heart. I'm like,
We had
Brandon.
something similar in my family. My grandpa and my grandma, their brother and sister married too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But-
it's the same kind of thing. Double cousins.
Yeah,
And
it is,
it happened, because people will say, his old boss said, man, your daughter really looks like Tori's kid. And Wayne goes, yeah, there's kind of a reason for that. They're like double cousins. But also Matt and Rachel
Yeah.
and his cousin, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was teasing my, this was just the other day. I forgot why we were even in the truck. We're going somewhere. Anyway, we were going to get something to eat after last week's podcast. Okay. So anyway, we're talking, I'm teasing him about how do you guys do things in Eldon, and he's like, and his response was, Tyson, we're all one family under Jesus.
Are you talking about last week when you went out and got something to eat? Didn't bring
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I had to make myself a grilled cheese sandwich. Tyson.
What
I
was
had
your
this
term
enchilada
for
pretty
him? And I always try to retell this. I'm like, I don't remember the term he used. Crock pot something. What was it you said?
My
one
meals
day?
that I make on.
You're throw everything in. I can't remember what I called it.
But the term was, you said something about something like crock pot concoctions or something like that.
It's Schmorgan, George.
No, it was because I used Chat GPT to make them up.
Hey, I told her, hey, we've been known to do that. Wayne will go, what can I make? We have this in the house. What can I make with these ingredients?
Yeah, I'm not one of those. I had a roommate. She could take it. There was any. I'd be look in the cabinet and go, there is no food in here, and she would go boop 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 and make the most delicious thing you ever tasted in your life. I'm like, how do you do that?
Oh boy. Oh boy. I saw him queuing it up.
Oh, for the love of all that is good.
With the honey sauce.
The dance.
Honey sauce.
The dance gets me.
Yeah.
You don't want a biscuit and honey sauce?
No, absolutely not.
Wouldn't it be funny if like KFC or somebody used that in there?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you had to know that was coming.
I saw you queuing it up over there
I
earlier.
You didn't
didn't. I
see
was
that.
off in
It's
my.
been a little while for that one, hasn't it?
It has been.
It's been quite. Yeah. Didn't Brandon share that? I remember him sending it to me a long time ago. You gotta watch this.
The things that man sends me, the most ridiculous things he sends me, like stuff like that all the time. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh boy.
You guys don't need to be looking at my screen over here.
Hey,
Like-
that first one over there, that's the one that
This
I was
is
just
this
like,
is the one that's capturing the feed in our software. This is my editing bay over here. You guys just you don't need to know what's coming.
Oh man, I'm really. One thing I
You're
love.
exhausting.
Wayne will tell you this. Sense of humor is like that is huge to me because I grew up. My brother was like the class clown type, and he made me laugh. I mean, this ridiculous stuff that we would laugh about growing up, and my mom would be like, "You guys are dumb. Like, it's not even funny." But I tell the kids all the time. Mom would be so mad at Brandon. And he would, she'd go, Brandon, get in your room and do blah, blah. And he'd go, okay. Like in these dumb voices. And Mom would be like this.
Laugh.
She'd be like, stop trying to make me laugh. And she'd go from mad to laughing through the anger. And she'd get really serious again. And then he'd crack and she'd start laughing. And so he could always do that to her. Like, he could just. It was so funny. And so I just had that in me already, the joking around
Right.
stuff, like the dumb, yeah.
Well, like that the other day, this man was putting his stinky feet
Here
on me. And
Here we go.
He's
Here-
like, and
this
I was
is
like,
where-
"Get your feet off me," and I just
This is
started
where
laughing.
the podcast goes.
And he's
completely
laughing,
off the
and it's
rails.
just insane. I'm like, ugh, but he had to put his stinky feet on me. It was gross.
Wayne's I would say his nieces and nephews would call him the funkle. I mean, well, he is, on his side, and he's got 2 sisters, so he is.
Yeah.
And my brother is the funkle type, fun uncle. And so his humor, I would say he's a little different than me, but also silly too. Like the other night, I told him, "Can I just?" he went to go to bed, but he said "toodles" to everybody. And to see Wayne, this country manly guy, say "toodles, toodles." So I went in the room and I opened the door and I go, "Wayne, can I just tell you, I just love that you say that." I was like, the first time you ever said that, I was like, did he just say toodles? It's just funny, like stuff like that,
We are not the touchy-feely, lovey-dovey type.
No,
No.
we're not.
I know, crazy, right?
I mean, we thought,
I know, but
No, just kidding.
Just because we're not doesn't mean we don't love each other. And I'm really glad to have found somebody who has I don't want you touching me all the time. Just don't. I don't. And even and I love my youngest daughter to death. But even when she was little, I would be like, okay, that's enough. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's some kind of trauma back up there. I don't know. I'm not going to get into it. But I like having my space.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I'll go up and I'll give him a hug and be like, "What are you touching me for?" Because I need a hug. Because I want a hug because I married you and that's what you're here for.
We're pretty huggy.
But we're not. And we'll tease. We'll be like,
But
"Ew,
everybody's
gross."
different. Wayne will tell you.
It's true. And I
Eve
think
is a snuggle bug. Like she'll come up and I'll say, "Honey, I love you." But
Yeah.
hold on, I'm really hot right now. Hold
See,
on.
yeah.
Here, sit right here. I'll find
Yes,
a solution.
I did the same
'Cause I
with
don't want to
Diana.
make her feel like
Yeah.
I'm saying I don't want to hug you.
No.
She'll do this thing. She'll just rub her face, and I'm like
it's a
Okay,
physical reaction I get.
it's I'm like, you're getting heavy now too. Like, ugh, killing my leg here.
Yeah.
Just. And so I'm like, I love you. I have to make that clear because I never want to hurt them. Oh, I know, Mom. I know. I'm like, okay.
Talk about buttered sausage.
Oh boy.
It does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. Buttered sausage. That's not your jam. Hey, you don't like it? It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey. I kiss it on the lips.
What is he saying?
Oh boy.
Oh,
That guy's just hated.
wow.
Oh,
Wow.
You guys
Poor
lost it.
guy. Mm-hmm.
Gary Busey.
Off
Oh,
the
yeah.
reservation.
Yeah. Like when we had Dylan Novak in, who's actually met Gary Busey, and he said, and we were asking him on the show, is that just an act? He's like, oh no, that's the real Gary Busey. Yeah.
And I know that coming to church more and people drive me crazy, don't get me wrong. But I feel bad for people a lot more than I do mad or frustrated. I feel sad for those people who don't know God, who just refuse to believe. I feel bad for them. I really do.
Yeah. My grandma Jane always says that. How sad of a life is that when you have no hope? Then, if you have nothing there, who wants that? You want to have some hope,
Mm-hmm.
Wayne will tell you, just I feel like how we were talking about, you learn something from the other and you kind of meet in the middle. So Wayne, we can talk about this, how different we were when we first met. We definitely clicked, God put us together, but we ironed out the wrinkles.
Mm-hmm.
I had a little bit of, my mom was always big on, security, locking things up. And then I lived in the country, so it's a little different, I didn't have to lock every single little thing. And I might have barked about things like that. And finally, Wayne just kind of chilled me out a little bit. He mellowed me a little bit, And so I don't know. I would say we kind of, like we've talked about it. We both kind of came to each other's.
Yeah.
You find out.
I actually take my keys out now. I never took my keys out of anything.
You would just leave them.
Now, when I moved to Joplin, I was raised down here at the lake. We left our doors open.
Yeah.
And so when I moved to Joplin, I'd always leave my keys in the car, and Janelle just threw a fit. Like,
you don't do that. He's had things stolen out of the car. It happens.
Yeah, I had a car stolen, had a truck stolen, but it's ingrained in you. You don't want to fear.
Right.
You don't want to be in fear. So, I mean, it's a sacrifice just
I have to balance
start
it.
being safer.
I had to chill, to think back on that time, and I'm like, I was completely different then. Like, my mindset would immediately go to, but being under Wayne's teaching, being under preacher's teaching and all that, like, having grace, thinking about where other people were coming from, you know, and not fearing all the time, because I used to be super fearful. I mean, I was a worrywart. I worried about everything. Once again, Grandma's wisdom was, most of the things that you worry about never happen anyway. And so, or she'd say, I worry enough for the both of us. Just stop.
Oh.
And so, but seriously, she was right, though. It's true. Like, most of the things, I mean, I have a mom story, and it's a lighthearted enough one. Like, I think I can share. I mean, Mom would probably giggle about it, but she once told me, I just read this story, and I'm like, Mom, you gotta stop reading that. Like, and Wayne will tell you his mom would read things too every now and then. We'd be like, Mom, you gotta do that. Just don't do it, because then it makes you get. I've even told Wayne I do it. I'm like, I have to stay away from media stuff, because if I go down, I'm like, it doesn't do good for my spirit. It makes me down. But Mom was like, I just read this story about a piece of plywood flipping off a guy's truck and flying through a windshield. You better be careful. And I go, Mom, I promise you that I will keep an eye out for the very common occurrence of plywood. She's like, okay. And so, like, I'm like, Mom, I can't live in fear. Like, yes, these things could happen. And there are things that we will just flippantly say, oh, that'll never happen to me, and we shouldn't act that way about it.
No.
But then there's a lot of things that we're like, I'm not going to be fearful. I'm going to go on living life. And if I see a warning sign or red flag, okay, then I can be, worked up a little and worry. I mean, with kids and everything, same thing. The kids mellowed me a lot. Wayne will tell you that.
Yeah.
Kids, because I tell everybody, we couldn't have done this if we didn't have kids. Because I was not. Carolyn will tell you.
She was stuck up.
I know. Wait, so what did you think of me when you met me?
Not to me at all. She didn't have no grace for kids. Other people's kids.
Yeah.
She had her own.
Oh, I wish they'd be quiet. And every little noise a kid made, I'd be like, I was that person, And Wayne taught me so much. A lot. I'd say Grandma and Wayne are the people I've learned so much from. And Wayne, I think, man, he can be so relaxed about stuff. Oh, I just want to be that way. And then over time, just so many things, having my own kids and keeping that wisdom in my head. I hear people, I hear him and Grandma, that wisdom all the time in my head through the day. And then, if I overreact about something or my tone, I'm big on tone, and I tell the kids, talk sweet. There I go, hitting the table.
I know. It's all right. He'll have to deal with it. It'll be fine.
And so, like, I don't even know what I was saying. Totally lost it.
Well, and I know, like,
having a good tone about things. Yeah, like I didn't have patience for kids. Like, we had to do children's church. We should tell the story of Jace.
Yeah.
A little boy that now, if he sees us, he's like a teen now, but he will come up and hug us. And there was a time when he was that kid that you're like, I got to do children's church. This is going to be a challenge. Just help me be patient with him, And I would let it get to me too much. And Wayne would say, you can't let them see you
sweat
like that, And Wayne would have to sit sometimes with him and just kind of hug him and calm down, buddy.
And I just talk softly in his ear. Everybody needs to listen. Everybody's got to hear. It's okay, buddy. And that's the extent of it. But
I had to change my thinking.
She would get so angry with but that's normal for somebody that hasn't been through that. I'd been through that already, so I knew.
Oh, I'd let him make me tear up and, bawl or whatever. And then one day I said to myself, what if I just, they say kill him with kindness kind of thing. I thought, what if I just kill him with love, just love on him. And instead of pointing out all the bad stuff, when he does a lot of good stuff, really praise him for that. See if it helps.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did over time. Like when he would be doing something good, or I would even affection, like just hugging him, giving him a pat on the back and telling him good job and stuff. And then over time it paid off. And now he's a kid. When he sees us, he comes and hugs us. I mean, if you had told me that back before, I'd have been like, oh, no way. No way.
No.
So, I mean, it was a good learning lesson. A lot of that was,
He was starving for somebody to control him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pushing the
Because
boundaries.
you feel safe
Yeah.
when somebody
Yeah.
pays attention to you. It takes time to, even though it was not that good of attention,
Right.
I was taking my time with him.
Mm-hmm.
He would be trying to get out, and I just, no, everybody's got to listen.
Mm-hmm.
That structure is safety and security.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
When you know someone cares about you.
Mhm.
That was something good. My mom, as much as, Brandon might say, I felt like mom was always, getting honest. But mom said one time, I'll never forget, Brandon had a friend. He died young. His family didn't care where he was.
Mm.
And he said, so-and-so gets to run out and do what he wants. Why can't I? And mom said, because I'm not his mom. I'm your mom. And I care where you're at.
Mm.
So right now I feel like I'm meanie head, but I'm doing this because I love you and I care about you. Like, obviously, we both, especially, and he gets that totally now, too, because I would say he understands that whole, like Wayne said, the having boundaries and discipline and, it's as long as it's out of love, Wayne would say you got to have equal love. And as long as you balance that and they know you love them, but they feel safer for sure.
Right.
Our kids won't even, they don't just flip and run out in the road,
No.
They know Dad's taught them,
Yeah.
Bub's even been a help to other little kids. He'll go, stop out here. Don't go any further, okay? Don't go further. Mom, I got to keep an eye on him. And he's cute. But he's learned that,
To expand on what you were talking about with, how you've changed, I really believe, and I don't think people understand it. You don't just get saved and you just change.
Mm-mm.
It just doesn't work that way.
Process.
And God knows, he's like, no, I can't just change. No, that's not going to work. It's not going to stick. And I know that for me, it's been just a little bit here, a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
There are still things that I'm not convicted on that a lot of other people can be convicted on.
Mm-hmm.
But
You and your secular music, Janelle.
I like music and but
you know what? Yeah.
you
talked about other things. Though,
there's a lot of things. There's a
that
lot
you were
of
like,
things.
I realized, and sometimes you just have to do it in your own.
Mhm.
Jenny gave me a lot of. She kind of broke that down, like, you should never do something because someone's telling you to do it.
Right.
You do it because
Right.
you feel a personal conviction,
Mhm.
And so she never made me feel like, when we would delve into things like things pastors' wives do or don't do or whatever, or what would be as a woman, a better thing to do. And then I would say, well, on this thing, this is kind of reason this out, and she'd say, I understand that. I get
Mhm.
that. And then she just would end it with, but don't ever do anything because you feel pressure. Like you
Right.
feel like I'm making you do it.
Right.
I'm not going to make you do anything. You do it because you feel convicted to do it.
Well, and I feel like here, this church, there isn't that, especially with Wayne.
You would run everyone off if you have this.
I know. And
You
there are a lot of,
And there are
unfortunately,
things.
there are a lot of churches that are that way, and I think that's why it took me so long to get to a good place and to just believe in God and just
That was one
accept
thing I
him.
was going to ask you guys. So when you were talking about she was open when you met her, because you had said you were at a point where you were like, I don't know if I want to get married again.
Mhm.
When you guys were like talking before you even got married, did you say, would you be open to Or how did you find out that she was open to?
Did you tell
being
him,
married.
I ain't married yet unless you marry the Lord?
That's exactly what I told her.
He did not.
Like,
Listen,
listen,
woman.
I was like,
Don't listen to him.
it's like, listen here, little lady. We're going to lay down some ground rules. And on top of that, I require tater tot casserole at least once a month.
Oh, stop! You didn't even know a thing about tater tot casserole.
How do you know what I do? You gotta be a Christian, and you gotta know how to make
You
a
guys
good
do
tater tot
make me
casserole.
laugh. I
Yeah.
must say,
Yeah.
when you guys.
No, I think wasn't it after I finally was just and I got saved, and I was baptized by your uncle. And did I get baptized before or after we got married? I don't remember.
It was after.
Was it after?
Yeah, Uncle Raymond. I don't know. Well, I guess he would have, but I don't know that he would have baptized you until we were
married. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what his.
Sometimes that's
Yeah.
that's just to help you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, he wouldn't have been.
I
like me about it.
baptized
Yeah.
somebody the other day that's living with
Right.
a woman, and but if you knew where this guy came from,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, this guy was selling dope out of the back of a church a couple of years ago. You know, so you're like, he's up to a point here
Mm-hmm.
where, and if I'd say, well, you gotta move out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and put him on the street just so I can baptize him,
Now, that would have been more detrimental.
you know, what they
Yeah.
don't make no sense to me.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I can see other situations where that would be helpful.
Yeah.
Because I've done that too. Somebody wanted me to baptize them, this young lady, and I told her, you need to be baptized by somebody local to you, a church that you go to, so that they can hold you accountable.
It's not to say this guy that baptized my dad baptized me too,
Yeah.
because it doesn't mean anything really.
Yeah, I said, I baptized your dad, and then I never seen him again. I
Yeah.
said, how the people that watched him get baptized can't even hold him accountable.
Right.
Yep.
You know, it's the same as a marriage. The people that witness your marriage are supposed to say, hey, I saw you or heard you make a vow that you're going to stay through sickness and health and all this. Of course, that's not usually what happens. They come in and say, get rid of that piece of junk. But
Here's something you may not know. We had our vow renewals in a cave.
We did.
nice. That
Which
might
cave?
echo.
Right, okay.
Really?
Yeah,
I love caves.
I worked at Bridal
like
Cave
caves.
at the time, so.
I feel like Bob would be. We gotta wait till he gets older, but he'd be scared. But I loved going in caves when I was a kid.
It was a complete surprise. It was my birthday. I had no idea. It was me, him, and then three of his coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Was that right before you guys came here? Was it tenure? Or no?
It wasn't too long
was
before
the
we started
10-year,
coming here.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the 10
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Yep.
He planned all this. I didn't think that this man had that kind of a random bone in his body, but oh my goodness, he did.
Good job.
Mm-hmm.
And I
You got
didn't
me,
cry.
babe.
It was just really dusty in there. I don't know.
I asked Wayne. He said, "No, I'm not opposed to it." And then I think with the kids and all, we just haven't yet got to that point or anything of saying, "Yeah, we should do this." You know, it's not that we don't want to, but
Yeah, a renewal. Yeah.
it's
Maybe a
good.
25-year or something like that when the kids
We're
are
still here. We haven't been raptured.
grown.
Right.
Well, it was her birthday, and I was taking her out to dinner that night, and I was like, oh, shoot. So I forgot. I didn't even remember what I told you I left at the cave. I was
Oh,
like,
no, you said I
I
gotta help Blue do something.
Oh yeah, I've got to help Blue close up,
One of his coworkers.
Blue sent me. And Blue is a guy I worked with, Filipino guy, and I don't even know what that has anything to do with.
It doesn't.
But he was Filipino and wore brown pants.
He was a New
Like,
Yorker.
So he was from New York. It was a very interesting story. But at any rate, so I think I told her I made up a story like, oh, Blue needs me to swing by the cave real quick. They had a power box go out or something. Anyway, I made up some kind of story so we could swing by there on her birthday dinner date.
and then he made me go in.
And then I was like, why don't you come with me? And she goes, no, I just wait in the car. I was like, well, this might take a minute. Why don't you go ahead and come with me?
You need to come with me now.
So I finally got her coaxed into coming with me, and she's like, "All right, fine."
I saw a guy lurking in the trees over there when we pulled in.
So
You need to come in.
We walk into the cave and we walk into the bridal chapel, and there's already 2 or 3 people there, and she's like, "What's going on?"
I probably said, "What's going on?" up until the
What's
middle
going
of
on?
what we were doing.
What's happening?
What are you doing? Why are you doing this? I don't like being the center of attention. I know, I'm very but I'm not a fan of having everybody focused on me, for anything. It's just,
Yeah.
Where'd you guys get married? How did you do that? Did you get married at the courthouse?
No, his
A little
uncle
one.
married us at his
Mhm.
church, and he's actually the one who paid for our marriage license because we were living with his mom at the time. We didn't have any money. So his mom made the wedding cake. My best
Mhm.
friend and her husband were our maid and groom of honor, whatever,
He did
whatever.
the thing with the stuff and the block and,
And his boys were
the
there.
rings and stuff.
His 4 boys, not the 2 twins, but his other 4 boys. I wanted the girls to be there, but my mom wouldn't bring them, and my mom didn't come, so it was just us. But it was nice.
My mom and dad, I never knew it, but when I was a little kid, all the weddings I went to, my cousins, they were all big weddings. I mean, they had both sides of families, it was a few hundred people. But Mom, she ended up showing me their wedding photos. I said, "You didn't have more people?" She goes, "No, it was just our parents. And then we had one person stand up with us." And I go, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah." And then I kind of did it like her.
Did you guys get married here?
We did. Now we had church. I told, "Hey, welcome to come to the wedding, our church family," and then I did invite aunts and uncles. I have so many cousins. I was like, that's a lot.
That's too
But
much.
we had a fairly small wedding. It wasn't huge or anything, I don't even know how many we would have
Probably
had.
50,
Something
40
like
or
that.
50.
Yeah, there wasn't a ton there, so, and then when we had our little reception thing, dinner afterward, we just kind of went and had dinner with everybody at the lake at Port Arrowhead, you know where that's at?
Mm-mm.
And then, anyway, yeah, it was fairly small, but Grandma said it was little, but it was so intimate. It was one of the neatest weddings I've ever been to, Lauren.
I love it when you.
That's what I said. What we wanted it to be,
My
what it was
grandpa
supposed to be
was
about.
still alive then too.
Mhm.
He said, "I think she's a dandy."
Oh, he really said dandy? That's
Yeah.
great. I
And he
love it.
had the voice like this. Ask anyone, do you know Hargis Dinwiddie around here? And they'd say, "Oh, I didn't know Hargis." Oh man, the way he talked, that guy in the hospital that time. Wayne ran into this guy he knew, and he said, "Hey, my grandpa's actually here. I love your grandpa, man. You can sell tickets to watch him talk on the stage because he did have the neatest way of talking. He would go by our house every day, and everything about him was kind of slow mo. He'd wave and go." And he'd go, "Hi, Lauren," or he'd call. I'd hear him over the phone. He'd call Wayne and say, "Wayne, will you come and feed the dogs?" Kind of like that, But yeah, the first time I ever met him, Wayne brought me here one day and was taking me around, introducing me to everybody and stuff, his dad. And then he said, "I'll take you down to Grandpa's and let you meet Grandpa." And then we came in the door and Grandpa was on his chair and he goes, "Well, Wayne, she's a dandy." Right there. She kind of reminds me of Tammy, his cousin Tammy. I had real blonde hair at the time. But yeah, he's so cute. I wish our kids could have got to know him. They will one day, but
Yeah.
yeah, I know. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, I'm going on, aren't I?
No, you're fine.
Hey, that
Are we
reminds me
looking
though.
on time, Tyson?
We are right now at 1:26.
So our mics are going to go anytime.
Hopefully, well, I'm hoping not, but it's a possibility. Not our podcasting mics, but our video
I got a
feed.
point that I want to make with
Yeah.
all this. The Psalm 128 kind of tells this whole story. Before I was walking with the Lord, my life was not blessed. There was nothing good going on. And it sounds like you guys had the same
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
thing, but Psalm 128 talks about this. Blessed is everyone that feareth the Lord, that walketh in his ways. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. and bad things still happen during that time, but you're able to overcome them. You're able to take it because you know who's the boss.
Yeah.
You know he knows better than we do. We pray for this to happen and it doesn't happen. You got to say, well, God knows. He's the boss.
Mm-hmm.
You know, David, when he lost a child, or when his child was sick, he fasted all night in hopes that God would maybe save his son.
Mm-hmm.
But when the child died, he got up, washed himself, and ate breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody said, "What are you doing? You were so distraught." And he said, "Well, I can't change it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, God knew better than I did. So why keep fasting for something that can't happen?
Yeah.
You know, get up and go. Keep moving."
Yeah.
And so that's why I said, and all the rest of this verse 3 says, "Thy wife shall be a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house." You know, everything just works out better.
Mm-hmm.
The bad things still happen, but everything that, as you guys mentioned, your biblical roles, they flourish when you get in line. You know, it's not wrong to talk about that. It's just sometimes people blow it out of proportion and say, "Oh, your problems will go away."
Yeah. No.
You know, you've still got all the sowing and reaping to do from your old life. You know, all that stuff's still gonna be there, but you can start afresh and start new sowings so that you reap good things. And so that would be the biggest thing that I learned from my mistakes in life is seeing how God just blessed my socks off whenever I got in line with him.
Yeah.
And you got the same story.
Oh, yeah.
We're still not perfect,
No.
No, he's really not.
but I believe we want to be. I believe we want that to be. I just read it.
Yeah, you did.
He literally did.
In fact, I had to say, when he read the part about, I gotta tease him, the weed eater, because Wayne said, "Thy wife is a fruitful vine next to the house," basically.
Well,
I was gonna go, "Unless you weed
You
eater."
did?
Oh.
Hey now. Hey, it's not spring. I don't know why we're talking about weed
Here we
eaters.
go again.
Like, I don't.
are they besmirching your character, dear?
They are besmirching my character.
Well, thankfully Tyson takes it well. I think that's one of the
He
best
does.
parts of it. Can you imagine if he was? He'd be like, "I'd be offended all day. I would have been
All the
gone by
time.
now."
Yeah.
Like, you guys are both able to laugh about stuff and not, "Wow, how dare you?"
I don't find that it helps me any to hold on to anything that bothers me.
Yeah.
It doesn't. And I mean, there's occasionally, and I get it out. If I'm not good to Tyson, and be like, "So and so did," and then I'm over it.
I know
do
Wayne
not
says
hold
the best
things.
person to vent to is your spouse.
Yeah,
Because-
if you got to vent about something,
Yes.
because they're not going to go and blab,
No.
you know, because they want what's best for you, and they know you're just getting something off your chest,
Right.
and so
But not holding.
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
tell him.
want to,
I'm
like,
just
hold
solely
on to
saying
things.
this to get it out, because if I
Yeah.
hold it in, it's going to build
it's going
up.
to come out
Yes.
Yeah.
when it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
But
he
I-
says, "You better just talk to me here."
I don't think
And
holding
then-
grudges is a good idea. And I know there's a lot, like my oldest child, I don't know what grudge it is she's holding against me. She won't talk to me. And I didn't teach her that because I've never been one to hold on to things. It doesn't help anybody. I can't change the past. I can't change the things that happened before. I can't fix whatever it is you're upset about if you don't talk to me. But she refuses to let go of whatever it is. So all I can do is pray for her. And I pray for people who hold on to things like that. And I just pray that they can learn to get it out and move on instead of holding on to it. And
Grandma says it only hurts you because the person
Yes.
you're upset with doesn't even realize it.
No.
Probably.
a lot of the time.
You know, speaking of guitars, Wayne, RJ, who we've had, you know, our buddy RJ, our musical.
Speaking picking up a guitar.
Well, because we
Say.
were at the beginning of the podcast. Wayne was like, "Oh man, he's a heck of a guitar player. You gotta hear
I was
this
like,
guy.
was he
You gotta
hearing
hear this guy
guitar
pick and
strumming
Woo!"
while Janelle was talking?
So,
or?
at any rate, so RJ that we've had in the studio a few times, he's our musical director here at Faith Baptist Church. Well, he just sent me a message a little bit ago, and check this out, man. He goes, I tried this bad boy here at Show Me Music in Columbia, and I thought of you because it's only $900. And if you bought that, everybody would wonder why I paid so much for my Martin and you paid so little for yours. Look at that. I need $900, Wayne.
Whoa.
How does that have anything to do with anything we've been talking about all day?
Did you not hear the beginning of the
He had to
podcast?
have it.
All day.
Did you
Probably
not
to
hear the
mention it.
beginning of the podcast? We talked about guitars for a good 2 or 3 seconds.
You
I
know
bought
what?
Ava a guitar.
I
know,
saw
that was
that.
so
That is
cute.
awesome.
She looks so happy.
She
She's
was
such
like,
a cute kid. You
So
guys
is
have
your
a
face
Every
hurting?
day.
cute kid.
Does she?
Yeah, she
Aw.
doesn't know what she's doing, but
But well, that's how you learn.
Yeah.
she's just playing around with it though. And like I said, here I go.
Oh, I've
Don't
knocked
touch.
things over, and he's just gonna have to deal with it.
I don't know how many podcasts I watch though where they do that and they'll be like, sorry.
Mm,
She was doing it the other day though, and that's the story I shared about. I didn't know if Tyson saw it. I thought he would think that's cool. But I said she was playing this one tune, and I'm like, she'll play different things, and I'll think, that reminds me of this song, or that reminds me of that song. Well, she was playing a song, that song Horse with No Name by America.
Uh-huh.
And I used to remember listening to that when I was a little bitty kid because my mom and dad had records and they had some old, like really cool records. Like they had, oh man, people now would be like, that's awesome. They had that, But anyway, they would every now and then play records on their record player and they would play that song a lot. And so I said, oh, it reminds me of this song. And he was looking at me like, whatever, I have no clue who America, like I know we live in America. And a horse, what? That doesn't even make sense. Horse with no name. Whatever, so anyway, it sent me down a little bit of a rabbit hole, and I started reading. I went to look the song up, and then I realized in one of the videos, one of the guys wasn't in it, and it was like a later performance they did. And I was like, whatever happened to that guy? Well, then I pressed on him. How Google will come up with the members and their name, and you can press on one and find out more info. When I clicked on him, it said that he had passed away in like 2011. But that he died in Farmington, Missouri.
Oh, wow.
Going, hold on a minute, I got to read into this more. So then it sent me down a further rabbit hole. So I had to go read about his life a little bit. And what was awesome was this video popped up of him talking about turning his life over to God. He said, I was standing there in my mansion looking over the ocean in Malibu. And I'm like, God, I am so empty. The video is awesome. I showed it to Wayne last night. And some of the things he said reminded me of things Wayne would say. And I'm like, yeah, that is so good. Like the way he was talking at the very end about, he doesn't just change you, dust you off a little. He makes you a new creature.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was just really cool to talk. He was talking about having his fill of everything. Anything fleshly I wanted, carnal, I had it all. And it was, he's like, I felt so empty, And so his testimony was awesome. And it said he ended up living his life out writing gospel music and stuff.
That's neat.
And he wasn't at all like no strife with the rest of the band. He's just like, I have to do this. I have to walk. I'm sorry. I got to walk away from this. It's like, it was really something. His whole testimony. I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Wayne?
I got another Bible verse.
Let's hear it.
Ecclesiastes 9:9.
Mm-hmm.
This is Solomon, the wisest guy there ever was,
Mm-hmm.
wisest man, says, live joyfully with the wife whom thou lovest all the days of the life of thy vanity, which he hath given thee under the sun, all the days of thy vanity. For that is thy portion in this life, and in thy labor, which thou takest under the sun. Isn't that neat?
Mm-hmm.
Live joyfully.
Yeah, Tyson.
I would, and I'll tell you what. Hey, I was getting ready to.
I was going to say, you guys embody that. I feel
Yeah,
like.
that's what I
In
was
this
going to
room.
say. You
We're
guys,
doing it.
You guys make it fun.
You do, yes.
Your
You guys are a lot of
presence,
fun.
your guys' presence makes it fun.
I just bring a whole lot of silliness.
I think that's why
true.
you guys and RJ and Chelsea, you guys, you know,
Yeah.
we feel that way with them. Like Chelsea, I can be down in the doldrums. She's just like, and just side hugs me. But her humor, it can break up the most. Even Tori's like, she is a riot. She is so witty. Like, we'll just all be in a weird moment, and she'll just come off with something, and we're all just dying laughing
Until she gets all stabby.
Yeah, there you go. Until the violence comes
Well,
in.
and you know the part in the I don't remember the name of the band, whatever. I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral.
Yeah, I'm the kind of guy who laughs at a funeral.
And it's not necessarily like always appropriate, but I think that it's important to find the joy, especially somebody you know is going to live with Jesus. We should be joyful for them. We should be happy for them. There are a lot of times I'm like, man, you're lucky. They're lucky. Like,
well,
we don't have to deal with this anymore.
I think we're mourning.
Like,
we're mourning for ourselves.
It's very
really.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're not mourning for them. They've gone home. You're mourning because you didn't get to go.
A funeral for somebody who is not a believer, and you know they're not a believer. That's sad. That's the time to really
put
mourn.
it out of my mind.
Hey, I have asked Wayne that's got to be hard to preach a funeral like that. Like, because when I was growing up, I didn't have the understanding young like Wayne. Like, it took me till I was older to get the Trinity, and Grandma tried to explain it to me as a kid, and I'm like, I don't get it. How can he be more than one? But anyway, when I was growing up, I recall going to funerals and looking back now, that person probably was not saved, but they would talk about them like, oh, we'll see him in heaven one day.
I know.
And I was like conditioned that way.
Yeah.
But then when I met Wayne, I'm like, how do you preach funerals like that? He's like, well, you obviously provide comfort, but you also don't lie.
Right.
You're not going to say, oh, well, we're going to see him there. Because he goes, honestly, we don't, if you know for sure, like that person, their fruits, and we know they're saved, like we can celebrate that. But he's like, you just have to, he could explain it better than me, but that was the first time I ever had somebody honestly, and one of them was my mom's boyfriend. When I was growing up, when I was a teenager, he passed away, a couple of years maybe, or a year before I met Wayne. His pastor was not a guy that you would think would be a pastor, and it was amazing because that was the best funeral message I'd heard up to that point. I'd never been to funerals where somebody preached a good soul-saving, message, and this guy walks in, big burly guy, looked like he just walked in from his, biker gang or something. I think he had long hair, long beard. Didn't look like a preacher on him going, that's the preacher? Whoa. But man, did he preach a message, and those people needed to hear it. Wayne's like, that's key too. Put a salvation message out there and let them know this is your loved one. They've passed and this life's fleeting. And so he did that, and that family really needed it. His family, they didn't hear it. They'd never been in church, most of them. Yeah. And I told Wayne that message was amazing, and that was one really good thing that came out of, and that was the first time I heard somebody, but then I've heard Wayne since, and other people, a preacher, and preach amazing funeral messages of, whether it be saved or unsaved. But that can't be easy. Doing a message, and especially when the family, when they're like me, like my thinking, it's just like this generic, like, not taking it very seriously. Oh, we'll see there in the sky. We'll see him one day. And you're like, you can't always say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to say, your Uncle Dave and that dog you had when you were 6.
Stop it. He always tells me,
dogs
I
don't have souls.
I don't.
Spirits, but they don't.
The preacher had to talk to me about this
They
one
don't have
time.
souls.
Anyway,
God breathed into man, and he became a living soul. And it is that.
It's gonna make me that much more sad when I lose my dogs.
They have
Okay.
spirits, but not souls. I don't, and I could be wrong. I'm not a theologian or a learned man necessarily.
Done.
But
I think we're done.
I don't think you're going to get to heaven and see a bunch of puppy dogs running around.
Stop it.
I just don't see it.
You don't know that for
okay,
sure.
Wayne said, well, we ultimately just don't know. Now, dogs don't have souls. animals don't have souls. But didn't you say, well, there's going to be animals there?
Well, they have souls. Souls is where you get your mind, your
your
will.
personality, kind of. Yeah.
It's just they wasn't given spirit,
Yeah. Okay.
the spirit from God.
I see what you're saying.
See, Tyson, you were wrong.
No.
They had if they can think for themselves, they got a soul.
See,
I'm not sure our dogs think for themselves.
Stop
But you're saying basically
If you
you
throw
can't go, do you
throw a
believe in
big bunch
Jesus?
of meat
And they're
down
going to
there,
go,
do they
"Hmm?"
eat it?
Yeah, but they're not thinking. They're just, they act on instinct.
Now they are, what did Preacher, okay, you and Preacher both. Well, technically, I mean, they're beasts, Preacher's talking about how them, the way they'll go after
They weren't
food.
made in the image of God,
Yeah.
so they're not eternal.
But Wayne
We
said
are.
there's going to be animals in heaven.
Yeah, there'll be animals in heaven.
And he goes, we don't even really know, there might be a dog up there that has that, you'll recognize that. I don't know. He said, but we don't know ultimately. And he goes,
Yeah.
at that point we won't.
we
And
don't know.
Tori and I've talked about this too, like the things we'll care about and won't. And I
You
remember
know that,
when I used to be a true crime person all the time, I would be like, we're gonna know all these crimes, who did it. And then Tori and I talked one day, and I said, once I grew quite a bit, I was like, I don't think we're going to care at all about that.
No.
We really won't.
Yeah.
There's going to be many things that we're like, wow, that doesn't even matter now.
I got a verse for Janelle. If it just gets to where you just can't hardly take him anymore, there's a Bible verse here. It says, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord. Let not the wife depart from her husband. Just think that in your mind when it.
She's told me, like, no, you're stuck with me, buddy. Like, yeah, it's,
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm just teasing a little bit there.
it's,
I'm your boss.
the way things have come together, though, like, I was teasing Wayne the other day. I'm like, we're doing pretty good. We got 2 cars in the driveway and $1,000 in the bank account. Woo! But, I mean,
Hey, that's doing good.
that, right.
It's gone pretty quickly.
It's gone pretty quick. But it's the point. You just kind of look at where we're at, and it was 10 years ago. I mean, we're talking like 10, 11 years ago, where we had literally nothing. We sold our car. It was her, I, a tent, an air mattress, and blankets in the tent, and a dog, and a laptop, and that was it. And
We were actually gathering wood to make coffee.
yeah,
and make
I would
meals.
go around the park, gather wood, and make my coffee on the fire. Like it was, I learned some skills. Let me tell you.
He's like Tom Hanks.
But here I am now. We're in a nice. I know you talk about it's just trailer that wing. It's a nice little house.
It is
really
a nice
is.
place.
We got like
It
a.
really is. And
It
I've
is.
never said
It
in this
really is.
trailer. It's a nice place. I've never said it that way, Tyson.
Yeah, we've got a nice little house. We got 2 cars in the driveway. The bills are paid. We may not always, be eating steak after all the bills are paid, but the bills are paid.
We don't ever eat steak.
And I don't go hungry. All you gotta do is
I would
look
have
at
to cook the steak, and that's not.
So
Wait, you guys gotta tell the story now that you told me. What now? When you guys came back to somewhere you were when you weren't doing
we went
You gotta tell that.
for
This was just
Christmas.
recently.
This is funny.
It was this last Christmas, so my mom still lives in Kansas. And so we went up, and the kids all live in Kansas. Well, most of them in Kansas, and then in Joplin. I got one son who lives in Michigan, but at any rate, this doesn't involve him. I got to give you all the reference points.
Oh wow!
So we go to Kansas for Christmas. We get this little bed, and we had a bed and breakfast. We can't be doing too bad. So we rented this B&B, and we needed something at the store. So what was the name of the store? It's going to bug me if I don't know.
Oh, it was Harps.
Harps. So we go out. It's late at night, and I thought, well, maybe there's something in Baxter Springs open. And so we go to Baxter, and sure enough, it's this Harps grocery store. So we pull in, and I get instant recall. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, is this the grocery store that the kids picked us up and brought us to when we were homeless? And she's like, yeah, I think it is. I think you're right. And it was the same grocery store that 10 years ago, we had the kids pick us up. We needed some groceries, took us up there. That's when we were homeless, and we got, what we needed or whatever. And now I felt like we were returning. We had a nice car, got some money in my pocket, we're on vacation, we're staying at a B&B. And,
And he's standing outside going, What now?
Yeah, so we get out of the car and I'm like, what now, Art? What now? What now? Yeah, I just imagine, we walk into the grocery store, they're watching us on the security camera. Those are, man, about 10 years ago, they really cleaned themselves up.
I said the image I got was black and white screen, Tyson.
They're like,
What now?
And the security people are like, why is there a man screaming?
And why is this bald guy like in the coffee aisle going, what now? What now, Hart? What now?
Just talking. People are walking by his car
Yeah.
going, like,
Yeah, hey, you like me now? Checking my wallet, throwing dollar bills around the store.
no.
I said that image is so funny.
And I host a radio show. Like, how you like me now?
What a blessing.
It is. What I do for a living, we talk about this on air, but I host a radio show here locally. And it's so silly. And I talk to Wayne about this all the time. I'm like, I can't believe that I actually, and that it's just an additional blessing. I can't believe I actually get paid to do what I get paid to do. So it fits in with everything else. As we look back like 10 years ago to where we are now, we couldn't have done that ourselves if we tried.
No.
So
You know what popped into my head just now? I was laughing. So the first Wednesday night Bible study we came to, you played that video. The guy was like, the book was called. The book was called Noah's Ark. I touched it.
So Wayne's doing this presentation on Noah's Ark, and in this presentation, they're talking about this book, Noah's Ark. I touched it. And Janelle and I are laughing. We're trying not to laugh, which makes it worse. I can't breathe. She can't breathe. We're turning red. Wayne,
like, I see him doing this.
Wayne is back, like messing with the camera, like doing whatever. He walks by us. thoughts, Brother Wayne?
No, I think we pretty well covered it.
With great hesitation, any thoughts, ladies? Any closing thoughts?
This was fun.
This was fun, yeah.
I think I didn't know quite how to, in the beginning I was slow,
No,
but then I
it's-
feel like you.
That's the
lighten up.
thing. Like I tell people, like, man, you know, I have like people in the church. They're like, we're really enjoying your podcast, and we really like the work. I was like, if you knew, like I was telling Janelle, I said, we go in, we goof off for like an hour before we even record, and then we just sit down and we just. And props to Wayne. He does the research. He does. He always comes prepared. Not me. I fly by the seat of my pants. But it's just it's 2 hours of just coming in and having fun. It really is.
Well, Lauren asked me, she's like, do I need to have some notes and stuff
Okay.
ready? Like, do I need prep?
She goes,
I'm like,
well, what do you mean?
well, and at first I was like, I don't know what you're talking about because I didn't even know this was happening.
Wayne told me when I got home.
Yeah.
Before I forget,
He told me.
let me tell you this.
And I
Okay.
told her, I was like, well, I mean, you can. I know Wayne does, and I know Tyson will write notes down as they go. But
But if you're talking about your marriage and your life, I'm like, well, we
I
already
just
know
fly
it.
by the seat of my pants. I don't like.
I doodle a lot while
you
Wayne is
know.
talking. But I mean, this makes sense to me, believe it or
Sure.
not. But
It's just scribbles.
it's scribbles, guys. It's been a lot of fun having you in studio. We've got to do another
Yeah,
episode.
Yeah,
we,
sure, we
we
will.
really do.
Yeah.
And guys, we really appreciate you taking the time to spend with us today. A couple of things I want to hit on really quick, and for putting up with all of my silliness and all of the ladies.
I do that all the time, and man,
Oh, I think this is what I think we deserve. I think we
need an award.
I think we deserve this. Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. That's our in studio audience, by
Where's
the
the
way.
roses? They're not flying at us.
Our studio audience. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tip your ushers. Thank you. At any rate, it was a lot of fun, and we just, and I knew, Wifey had asked me, so what exactly we're going to talk about? I'm like, I don't know. We're just going to see where it takes us, and we had a lot of fun. We touched on some topics I think are relevant and hit some things that I think can help people ultimately, just not just us being silly for 2 hours. So that's the point. Guys, give us a like and a follow on Facebook. If you're not doing that, I gotta be honest with you, I'm a little disappointed. You need to be giving us a like and a follow on Facebook. That's our main communication portal. However, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna go ahead, Wifey, for just a couple of seconds. I'm gonna turn it over to you to give us an update on our Facebook, on our social media, what all you have going on, what they can look forward to, etc., etc., etc. Go.
So we do have the Facebook, and I do try to post clips of our YouTube shows that they do, the podcast. I don't have as much access to Spotify at this time, so hint, hint.
I don't want you getting into messing with Spotify account.
But I am trying to, and what I'd like to do is take some, especially the longer episodes that are on Spotify only, take some clips from that I can post to Facebook. Also Instagram. So it's SITGPodcast on Instagram. Then we're Standing in the Gap podcast on Facebook. We are Standing in the Gap podcast on YouTube. And then we also have the SITGPodcast.weebly.com. That's our website. So that is what I have actually in the Facebook description is the website. If you click on the website, that takes you to everything. It takes you to all of our podcast links, all of our YouTube link, our current episodes. So once we get this episode uploaded, I will put that as our current episode on the main page. There's also a little blog about kind of going through the episode and that kind of thing. And so I try to keep up with that during the week, at least 2 to 3 days a week. I do work a full-time job, so.
Work.
I know, crazy. And I'm working on some other stuff myself, so. But I did finally, it took me almost 2 days to get the website where I wanted it. So, but
Hey, you're doing good.
So they can go to Facebook. If they can make it over to Facebook, if they can at least do that,
Yeah.
then they can hit the link there that will take them to our
The
hub, to the
website.
landing page.
Mhm.
And then from there, it's got all the links they need
Everything
for
you
everything.
need. Yep.
Okay, awesome. And real quick, guys, if you would like, and I hate talking about money, Brother Wayne, I hate it. But there are fees associated with running a successful podcast such as this. Semi-successful podcast such as, hey, we're in the top 60 in Hungary, okay? That didn't happen by accident. That didn't, in Budapest right now, there's probably crowds in the street shouting for Standing in the Gap. That did not happen by
He
accident.
comes up with these
All right.
things in his head. It's hysterical.
Well, you heard him over there, cheering for
At,
him.
at any rate, as the studio audience files out here, see you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate it. So as the studio audience files out here, and there are fees, monthly fees associated with running a podcast. We have our equipment cost, we have hosting cost, et cetera, our software to host and produce the podcast cost. You know what everything costs nowadays. So only if the Lord directs you, if you would like to support Standing in the Gap, you will find, and I need Wifey to back me up here or correct me if I'm wrong, you can find our Cash App link in both the show description and the podcast description or episode description as well, and that will take you straight to our Cash App, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So just head on over. If you, in the episode description or show description, you'll see Cash App, Standing in the Gap. That will take you right there. It's fully secure. And like I say, if the Lord leads, we definitely and absolutely appreciate it. Also, I talked about this last time, we need a show sponsor, at least one. And we need somebody that owns a coffee company. And then they can hook us up with some coffee swag. Like a couple, we got a coffee pot right here in the studio. Like I'm thinking like 2 or 3 bags a month. You
Oh,
just,
geez.
and just a little coffee swag. Just hook us up.
Like,
If you're a business owner and you would like to sponsor Standing in the Gap Coffee or not, also just hit us up at questions.standingpodcast@gmail.com.
Or on the website. There's a contact.
See, this is why I've got you running that, because I would just send them to our email.
Yeah, there's a contact page on our website. You can send questions, you can send requests, you can send anything through there.
So what you're saying is my directing them to our email address is just kind of outdated and antiquated.
Yeah, you can do that
You've
too.
got a better way.
Either way. I can do either way.
All right. Guys, we lost the audio for our video because we went over our mark. So the video right now doesn't have the mic'd audio, which I'm going to edit. I'll edit the video. So at any rate, just apologies for that. Hey, it is what it is. Our main communication portal is still the audio podcast on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, et cetera. But we are getting the video up to a level where eventually that will be our main portal. So just
YouTube
bear
will.
with us. Well, YouTube will. Yeah, absolutely. So any other comments, anything before we close out here, before I have Wayne lead us in prayer?
Well, yeah, I got one.
Mm-hmm.
This is the verse that I always use to tell couples to if you're focused on the other one, what their needs are, then your needs are always met.
mm-hmm.
This verse in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 33 says, "Let every one of you, in particular, so love his wife, even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband." If you have that going on,
Mm-hmm.
this is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's one thing I will say, and not to get off on a whole other, because we're at the 2-hour mark now, we got to wrap it up, but that's one thing I know, like when she gets together with the girls at church or work or what, one thing I know I don't have to worry about, she's not going to be bad-mouthing me to the other girls. There's teasing stuff, like we tease about the wives, they tease
yeah,
about the
yeah.
husbands, we tease each other.
But I'll do that to your face.
Right, but some guys can't say that. Some guys cannot say that.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I am confident in. I don't have to worry. She's not bad mouthing me. She goes, hangs out with the girl. It's not a, well, my husband's just a lazy good for nothing. But I have committed in the same way with her. I tease about her. I tease to her. I tease with Wayne. I tease, it's just my personality. but I would never, and I think that's essential. I think people are making a mistake when you get around other people, like hang out with the guys, and it just turns into a gripe fest about the women, and I think that's bad precedence. Just my thought, but
Yeah.
I told Wayne when I worked at the state, and the girls would sit around at lunch and, oh, my husband, he'll never know what he did. And then they would get around to me and look at me like, you're sure quiet over there. And I know, you got the perfect marriage. I said, hey, nobody has a perfect marriage, but I'll say this. I have nothing bad to say about my husband. I'm sorry. And I said, and even if I did, I wouldn't say it.
That's
like,
the thing.
Yeah.
It's just a bad precedence.
But I really don't. I'm like, we do. We have a good marriage. I'm sorry. Like,
Gross.
Gross. Gross.
All right, Brother Wayne, I will have you close us out in prayer,
Okay.
and then we will go to music.
All right. Thank you, Lord, for our wives. Evidently, you have found favor with us. We desired to please you, and you gave us the desire of our heart. I'm thankful for that. And just hope that this helps somebody else that maybe is longing for that. Maybe they just need to reach out to you and start a relationship with you and let you find them the perfect wife. I pray that's what takes place, and that maybe others that are struggling in their marriage or something would see something, hear something in this podcast that would give them an unction to just reach out to you and get serious with you for a moment and pour their heart out to you and allow you to fix whatever's wrong there within them or their marriage, whatever it may be. Thank you for loving us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And guys, again, seriously, thank you for coming in and allowing us to pick on you for a couple hours. And
You're very
I
welcome.
just thought it was a good idea too, because we've been doing the podcast for over a year, and we talk about our wives quite a bit. You know, they're essential parts of our lives. So we talk. That'd be good just to get them in here and let the listeners meet them. So, and much less than all the good topics we touched on. So we'll have you guys back in. We really do appreciate it. All right, guys, I'm telling you now, this kind of segues into our closing music. This is the same song we played coming into the show. If you didn't get a chance to listen to the whole thing, now you're going to get an uninterrupted opportunity to listen to the complete song that directly references Wifey and
Baby cakes.
Thank you. You hit your mark, man. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fire up the music, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back next week with more Standing in the Gap. In the meantime, be praying for us. We'll be praying for you. And, I don't know where I was going with that. So. All right, guys. Till next week. Bye-bye.